Outragers, happy Tuesday 2-minute drill, and today's topic of conversation is outrage. So I want you to imagine the scenario. You have two doctors in your practice, and one doctor is a diversified doctor, and the other doctor is a Gonstead doctor, as an example. And these doctors believe that their way is the only way, their way is the best way, and they're not willing to cooperate with each other to help patients or to help the practice. And when things go wrong, they just point the finger at each other. And I'm just curious to know, like, what would you do with these two doctors if you were employing them? Hopefully you would say, I would fire them. I would fire them. This is a metaphor for not the chiropractic profession, but for our country's government. You know, for way too long, political foes have been pointing fingers at one another rather than taking responsibility for the problems that our countries face. And this came to a head for me yesterday. Unfortunately, I was watching the news. I didn't really realize this had happened, but that there were 13 mass shootings over the weekend. And I just became not just outraged, but enraged. Now, I'm a Libra and I can see both sides of this gun argument. You know, we must have the right to bear arms and we must be able to protect the public. And I cannot understand why our elected officials can't sit down and figure this out. I cannot believe that our elected officials continue to address our country's issues by wordsmithing to keep their votes. And I would argue that, like, shame on us for keeping on electing them. Now, I don't care if you're a liberal or conservative. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. I literally do not give a shit about your political affiliation. It makes no difference to me. But if you're an elected official and you're not communicating and acting in ways that move our country forward and putting like what's best for the citizens, you know, at the forefront of your decisions, then you need to be fired. George Washington said, and I want to read this. He said, "Let me now take a more comprehensive view and warn you in the most solemn manner against the baneful effects of the spirit of party generally. From Washington's perspective and judgment, political parties eventually and gradually, quote, incline the minds of men to seek security in the absolute power of an individual," end quote. He argues that political parties must be restrained in a popularly elected government because of their tendency to distract the government from their duties, create unfounded jealousies among groups and regions, raise false alarms among the people, promote riots and insurrections, and provide foreign nations and interests access to the government where they can impose their will upon the country. So as someone who likes to be solution-oriented and not just talk about the problem, here's an idea. How about we just abolish the two-party system? How about people get elected based on their merits, their intelligence, their work ethic, and their desire to be completely human-centered? Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe it's not a good idea. I don't really know. But all I can tell you is that at this point in our country's evolution, wisdom is not keeping pace with knowledge. And as my friend Jerry Simpson would say, that's not a good thing. And so we need people who are wise, who can help move our country in the right direction. And right now, I have no faith in our current elected officials. And I don't give a shit which party you're in. So there's this week's 2-minute drill. Maybe I'll have some ideas about how we can fix the situation. I would love to hear them. So please don't just share with me personally. You know, don't just send me a text. Let's have a conversation about this. I know I've gone long today, but thank you for watching and listening to this week's 2-minute drill. Talk to y'all soon.